So hi everyone. I think I know everyone, but in case, well, actually I haven't met you yet, Jean, but I finally got to meet Marlene in Tampa. That was great. Anyway, my name is Noel Schroeder and I am a sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I have been taking Juice Plus and in the Juice Plus business as a partner since 2015. It's about 3.5 years now. And I've never felt better physically, and I just love this business. It's been quite a journey. This was not really intuitive to me, this kind of business, and it has been definitely a personal development journey, cleverly disguised as a business, as many of us talk about with the Juice Plus business. And so it's been very rewarding, and I will just say that my journey, from the beginning, I knew that this was a business and not just a hobby, but I didn't have any real business training, and especially in network marketing, to know how much was required on a daily basis, on a consistent basis, how many people I really needed to be talking to on a regular basis, and especially new people, to really get where I wanted to go. And so it's been sort of this journey of learning over time. Oh, I've got to talk to more people. Oh, I've got to talk to more people. Oh, I've got to talk to more people. So it was kind of like, in the beginning, I was talking to people, but really just the people that I knew, and in kind of a small circle. And then I realized I had to widen my circle, and then I widened it again, and then I widened it again. I joined a BNI, which really helped. BNI is a business networking international organization, and I'm in a chapter that we now meet in Newmarket. We used to meet in Exeter, and that has taught me a ton about relationship building. And I've learned a ton from the Juice Plus partners about relationship building as well, and about networking. And what I've come to learn is, because I want to take my business to the level of national marketing director and then beyond, I really have to talk to lots and lots of people on a regular basis. And so once I understood that, or at least this was the first stage of learning that, I started using the daily method of operation worksheet that's found in your virtual office to help me kind of track and stay on target every day with talking to so many new people, following up with so many people, checking in on so many customers and team members, and then doing other activity like social media posting and inviting to events. And that was great. That worked really well for a while, because I was like, okay, I have a system. And when I do, and I think Danielle was the one that pointed it out to me, like, you might want to try this. And I had been resisting it, and I was like, okay, fine. And it was really a great tool for me, because I was able to start to really see that I was working, because there were days when I felt like I had done a lot of activity, but I didn't have anything to show for it. And there was nothing written down to sort of track it all, and to just look and say, wow, I was productive today, And I think that there's something really important in our business about patting yourself on the back as often as possible. And if you have a way to log your activity, it's not just a way to keep track of all the people you're talking to. It's also a way for you at the end of the day to say, all right, I did my activity for today. I'm really proud of myself. And that's been accomplished, and I feel productive. So even if nobody ordered any product and nobody joined my team today, I know that I did the consistent daily activity that is required, that is going to allow people over time to join my team, to order my product, because it's really about the daily consistent activity over time that just works. It just, so you may not see results every day, but you will see results over the course of the month and over the course of the year if you stay consistent. And it's easy to not stay consistent when you're not getting results. And so you just you have to have the faith that doing the daily activity is going to produce results. And there are going to be dry spells, and then there are going to be times when all of a sudden there's a ton of activity, and doesn't seem like there's any real rhyme or reason to it. And you just have to have faith to keep going and doing the do. So when I discovered Teamzy this spring, I was thrilled because what was happening to my worksheets was, I should show you them. They were starting to look insane, right? They just had names written all over them, all highlighted and like arrows. And it was like, okay, this is no longer an efficient system or an efficient way to do my business, because now I realized on a whole new level the volume of people I wanted to be talking to every day in order to get where I want to go. So I've been through, I've been sort of going through these stages. So Teamzy helps me stay consistent with my daily activity. And it keeps me on top of all of the people that might have been falling through the cracks before when I was jotting them down on my worksheet. Does that make sense? Because there's a way to log in the follow-up and when I'm going to follow up. And there's a way to log in what I sent them and what I talked to them about last time, so that I can go back, and because I'm not going to remember everybody, right? I can go back and say, oh, I already sent her this, or I talked to her about that. So now I can better figure out what the next step is. So that's really, in a nutshell, what Teamzy is. And in business terms, it's called a contact management system, which is not a very sexy name. I kind of think of it as my accountability buddy, which is also not very appealing to me as a term. It is kind of like my boss, because it tells me what to do, and I don't really want to have a boss. And it is a daily method of operation, which is not a very attractive term either. So I'm trying to come up with a different name for Teamzy to describe it. I love Cynthia Gomper's term for daily method of operation. She calls it daily magnificent outcomes, which I like. And this is definitely an electronic version of a daily magnificent outcomes. So I'm going to share the screen so that I can show you actually what Teamzy looks like on your computer screen. Okay, so can everyone see the dashboard? Can you all see that? Can you just nod and tell me that you can see it? Okay. So first of all, I have to tell you that I doubled. This is not all activity from today. I ran out of time on Friday. I was so busy Friday that, and this is sometimes the challenge that I have, is that I get so busy in my interactions that I don't get a chance to sit down and log them all. So, and I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, but this is actually essentially 2 days worth of activity, especially when it comes to the prospects. So when you first open up Teamzy, and by the way, you get your first month is free, and you do not need to give them a credit card. So you're not committed to anything if you decide you don't want to do it. They don't have your credit card to charge or anything. You choose the Juice Plus version of Teamzy. So these two guys that were in network marketing developed Teamzy for network marketing businesses specifically. And so they have a version for several different network marketing companies, Juice Plus being one of them. So when you open up Teamzy, you choose the Juice Plus version, and then it's going to prompt you to tell it how much money you want to make 1 year from today. So you actually put in like your dream salary, whatever that is that you want to make a year from now. And that's tricky, right? Because I tend to be overly ambitious. So it's like, do you cut yourself short? Do you try and, dream big? That I don't know how to help you with that, because I have my own method that isn't necessarily what everyone should do. But I put in a number, and then it calculated based on the Juice Plus compensation plan, because it knows what the Juice Plus compensation plan is, how many prospects to reach out to every day, how many customers to reach out to, how many distributors, how many event invites to do and how many ads. So how many new people am I adding to my database? Okay. Then you get the chance to download all of your contacts from Facebook, from your email, from your phone. And I was able to go in and do the same with my LinkedIn account. So there's a lot of overlap between those accounts, but I have anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people in each of those places. So I easily have about 3,000 people now downloaded into Teamzy. That is my memory jogger. It's going to take me a long time to run out of people to talk to. So when you're writing names on a piece of paper, that's a great way to start, but eventually that becomes inefficient because you run out of paper and it becomes an unwieldy document to try and manage, right? Because you want to be able to jot notes about when was your last contact with that person and who, you know, how many times have you contacted them and so on. So this becomes a much more efficient way to do your daily activity. This section right here, this little box, this is the memory jogger. So it's coming up every day with 5 new names of prospects. And as I work down the list, you know, it's going to keep coming up with another new one. So these are people that either I've never contacted before because they're a new name on my list. And when I say new, I might know them, but I might not have talked to them in 20 years. Or somebody might have been a yoga student of mine 10 years ago and I haven't seen them since. Or somebody took a workshop with me 5 years ago and landed on my mailing list and I hardly know them at all. Sometimes, so, you know, so it just depends. So they essentially, these are new people or people I have not talked to about Juice Plus. Some of them I have talked to, and so they're gonna inherently become a follow-up situation. And you can rank these people from 1 to 5 or even delete them off the list. So if there are 5, they're primo. You really, you know, you feel like there's real potential here for them to be a customer and maybe a team member. And so they're gonna pop up on your list more frequently than somebody who you rank as a 1 or a 2 or a 3, okay? It's gonna come up with customers. Now, I typically have a longer list than this, but I've been just plowing through the names. So right now it's out of names. It's coming up with distributors to reach out to every day. And then I can schedule follow-ups when I do the activity, and I log that activity here, and I can even say like exactly what the type of communication was. And I just noticed that they've added a few options in here. They still don't have Voxer on here. So I think I'm gonna make that suggestion because I just end up clicking on other because I do so much Voxing. And then I'll either copy and paste the exact message that I wrote in this little box, or I just do a quick, you know, summary of what I said. If I invited them to an event, I'm clicking here, and then it's coming up with, you know, well, what did you invite them to? And then if I want to schedule a follow-up, I can pick what they have here or put in a custom date. If I invite them to an event, it's going to automatically fill in a follow-up of 2 days, which I can change. This is something that I have not utilized yet, but they actually have scripts. So let's say I want to contact somebody on Facebook Messenger and I'm not really sure what to say. They've got verbiage here that I can borrow and copy and paste. Notice how they are encouraging us to not always talk about Juice Plus when we reach out to somebody. Reaching out does not mean we have to talk about Juice Plus. It can just simply be, hey, how are you? I hope your day is going awesome. You know, would love to hear about how your dog's doing because I know you took him to the vet. Or, you know, it could be anything. Like if you saw them on Facebook posting about something, you might just say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I know you haven't been feeling well. How are you doing? You know, so it doesn't have to be a Juice Plus conversation. It's just, it's a connect, it's a reach out, it's a touch. And I think by getting in the habit of touching your people every day and new people every day, you are building relationships, you're making new friends, and maybe they're going to become customers or join your team. You don't know, but by doing this volume, you're not as attached to those outcomes as you might have been when you were focused on, like, you know, the 5 people on your list. When you're looking at hundreds or thousands of people on your memory jogger, you're just reaching out all the time, and you don't have to remember all of it because you're logging it all in, and Teamzy is managing that for you. I'm just going to go into this person's profile so you can see that I was able to enter, you know, her information, and then I can look at the activity feed so I can see, like, when was the last time I talked to her and what did I talk about with her. So I know where I've left off. I know when that was, how long it's been. It's probably time to follow up. Like, I even scheduled a follow-up for 10/22 and I haven't done it yet. So this is somebody that's potentially falling through the cracks, but I also know, knowing this person, that I'm kind of, you know, I don't want to be in her face because I just know her personality and I know how busy she is. And so, you know, I'll probably connect with her again in the next week or so. But if I'm behind on my follow-ups, which I am, you know, I can go in here anytime and go, oh, look at all these people I said I was going to follow up with by this date. I better get in there and do that. So it's all there for me. I don't have to try and remember all of that. I think the biggest challenge I was having, besides just keeping track of everything and especially the follow-ups, was, who do I reach out to today? Who are new people? You know, and I was sort of searching my Facebook friends list or searching my LinkedIn account, and it just wasn't all that fruitful. Because it was too easy to say, nah. Here, it's like, here you go, 5 people, let's go, do it, you know? So it's in your face. And what I love is seeing the numbers tally up over the course of the day. So typically what Teamzy is telling me to do is 7 prospects for the day, right? And so I know now, this, like I said earlier, this is about 2 days worth. I have 0 left. Like, I did my work for today. I'm done. I can chill out, right? I might have other things to do, but the most important money-making activities in my business are done. So I'm at the point where this is my priority for the day. And I was having this crazy month in between September and October where I wasn't getting to this, and it did not feel good. I was like, okay, people are slipping through the cracks. I know I'm doing activity. I know I'm talking to people, but I'm not logging it all in because I have too much activity over the course of the day. So I have scaled back, you know, how many one-to-ones I'm doing, how many networking events I'm going to, so that I can focus on this and sit down and log the activity and do it in a more systematic way. And I'm not exhausting myself with too many, you know, too many events and too many coffee dates and whatever. So I'm pacing myself out a little bit more because I want to be able to do this systematically and not burn myself out. I know there are things that I'm not utilizing that I need to be taking advantage of, and Teamzy is providing trainings all the time. And quite frankly, just between doing my activity and keeping up with the actual out there meeting people and networking stuff, I haven't had time. And it's not a priority to me because this is working. So I started using this, I believe I started somewhere between May and June. And I brought on 7 new distributors since. Where my pace before that was like, I don't know, 1 every 3 or 4 months at best. So that tells me this is working. I was definitely already averaging about 5 new customers every month, but what I really needed and still need is more team. We all do, right? So I was trying to figure out a way to pick up that pace, and this has done that for me. I was going to go back and talk about something, and now I can't remember what it was. So I'm going to open it up to questions. Oh, and I can, yeah, this is like my, this is a little graph that shows like my activity for the week. So as you can see, I did a lot of activity Friday, but that was the day I missed out on logging it all in. And then I took Saturday and Sunday. I wouldn't say I took it completely off. I did a little bit of activity. And so I made sure that got logged in today as well.
I have a question, Noel.
Yeah.
Are you doing it just on your laptop? Is it easy to just do it on your phone too? Like, what do you use? Usually just your laptop?
They don't have an app yet, you know, a phone friendly app. You can put it on your, I mean, you can log on to Teamzy on your phone because it's just on the internet, but it's going to look like this. So I don't know how easy that is to log everything. I mean, you can certainly try it. I don't have a lot of patience for a tiny screen.
Yeah.
Stuff like
If
this.
you wanted to check something quick, like you could.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It works okay, I thought, you guys.
Doesn't?
You've tried it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, you can try it, see how you like it.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried it yet.
I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So-
had a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Was it quick to get started with it?
Yes, I would say it took me an hour at most to get
Oh,
everything
that's not bad.
uploaded and to get going. Yeah, it was very easy.
Okay, I have noticed since conference, I'm trying to keep track. And I say I'm trying to keep track. I think I only wrote down 2 times, and then the rest I thought, oh, I'll remember and I'll do it later. And now I can't remember who the people are.
Yeah.
But definitely writing down
Yeah.
who I'm talking to every day. I'm amazed at myself. So
That's great.
I actually am talking to more people than I really ever realized.
Exactly.
I just had nothing to show for it.
That's exactly.
And when I actually write it down, I really like that idea. So since I tested that with just a sheet of paper, I'm way more interested in this now. And my problem with the paper is, do I use just the lined paper and a 3-ring binder? What notebook's going to be big enough? Do I actually want to write in the notebook, or do I want to just save it in my pile of notebooks?
Right.
I'm a freak.
Oh, I have like 8,000 sticky
I've had the
notes
same-
everywhere. It's making me crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not weird.
No, I'm a writing down kind of person. So, but it's just out of control now, and I just want to get rid of the sticky notes.
I can't reel it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at my board.
And it makes you afraid to go bigger when you don't know how to manage what you have. That's
Crazy.
But Sharon, that's organized compared to me. So you know, organization is not. I mean, I'm a little bit good at it, but I'm not that good at it. So I just needed something to organize me because I can't keep it all straight. And
yeah.
I can't either.
I needed it all in one place so that it wasn't going to fall through the cracks. I know what I was going to talk about. See this power hour in the middle of the page where it says who's up next?
Yes.
So what they're encouraging you to do, and I encourage you to actually watch the Teamzy, like intro to Teamzy with Juice Plus. There's a 90-minute video that, you know, I have to admit I had to watch in, you know, 30-minute chunks because I just didn't have 90 minutes all at once. But first of all, it's a great intro to Teamzy. It's a great training on how you use it. And it's also just a great training for our business. They give a lot of great strategies, but what they recommend is this power hour where you sit and you are just laser focused for that 1 hour on your Teamzy. And what I have really had to discipline myself to do just recently, I'm getting better at this, is put the phone away, face down, and just do all of my reaching out. Now, if I'm reaching out on my phone and I'm getting notifications like right there that somebody's responding to one of my reach outs, I have to ignore it because the tendency is going to be, oh, and then I'm answering it and then I'm distracted. And now my power hour becomes power 4 hours and it's not that efficient. So you have to, you know, when, what's her name? Lahav,
Lauren.
Lauren Lahav, thank you. She says, put on your goggles, you know, and put on your blinders and just like focus. It's really true, because it's really easy to end up answering Voxers, answering people that you're reaching out to, that are responding to you, answering other messages that are just coming in randomly. I mean, while I was doing this today, emails were coming back with responses. And of course I'm like, oh, that's so cool, she wrote back. And I'm so tempted to go and look at it. I'm like, nope, I am not looking at that right now. I have to finish this. So you really want that power hour to be as efficient as possible so that you feel accomplished. You know, you feel productive and you don't feel like you're doing your business 24/7. And then then you set aside maybe an hour to do, or maybe it's only 15 minutes that you need to respond to those people that wrote back. But whatever it is, like, try and block off your times so that it's more efficient. And this is something I'm still working on. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start blocking off the times in my calendar, literally, of, when I sit down to do Teamzy and when I sit down to do something else, instead of just having that 4-hour span just sitting there, because then it's too easy to get distracted and do other things.
I just wanted to say, so I had downloaded this quite a while ago, and then over the summer just did not do it. So I got inspired by you and by conference, and so I started on Friday, and I just feel like it just keeps me so focused, and I'm actually saving time.
Exactly.
And I don't feel guilty because I didn't do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm getting so much more done in that hour.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And, I was a little worried at first because I'm like, I tend to be so like, oh God, I didn't get to my 7, there's still one left. And it's like, I'm relaxed about that too. Like, if I didn't get to the 7 today, or the 5 customers, or the 4 distributors, or whatever, like, whatever, like, you'll get to it tomorrow. So it doesn't have to be so hard and fast that you meet all your numbers every day, but you just know it's a nice way to gauge, when you're keeping up with those numbers and when you're not, and you can see the results of that.
And I'm not losing people, because I felt like before,
yeah,
I was, I would send info out, I'd check back, I didn't hear anything, and then they would slip through the cracks. So this way they come back up. So it's good.
Yeah. And, I'm saying I brought on 7 new team members in about a 3 or 4 month time period, but the average that they said at conference was that Juice Plus reps who are using Teamzy in a 90-day period are bringing on 9 new team members. And I think they said 5 new customers every month. So, I'm actually below the average still on team acquisition, and I'm doing way more than I was. So it's definitely been a tremendous boost to my business. And our team volume just continues to go up every month over the last, 5 or 6 months. It's been, our whole team is doing amazing. And I think there's just this like momentum as you do more and more activity that's just consistent. Maybe it's 3 prospects for you every day, but whatever it is, just being consistent with it over time and staying efficient by how you're tracking it is the key to, streamlining it and getting where you want to go more quickly and more efficiently. Susan, did you want to add anything? Because I know you've been using it now for a little while.
I really like it a lot. I really started digging in this past Friday, and I love how when I text somebody or I email somebody, I can literally just copy it and put it into Teamzy, and then I know exactly what I sent them. I know what video I sent them. I know what day it was.
Yeah.
And it's a great, like you said, Noel, a great accountability tool
Yeah.
and a memory tool because it's like, what did I do? Did I do that?
Yeah.
So
And some of the most successful NMDs right now are really taking their businesses like to a whole new level with Teamzy. The video that's out is with an NMD who's doing really well. I can't remember her name. The 90-minute training I was referring to. And the exciting thing is that it was $30 a month, and now it's down to $20 for Juice Plus reps.
right.
The Juice Plus company and Teamzy have partnered up and made a better deal for all of us, which is exciting because it makes it more accessible to everyone. And that new price starts in November.
Noel, are you doing anything? And I know a lot of your team is on tonight, so that's really cool. Are you doing anything interactive with your team through Teamzy?
Not yet.
Okay, I think that's a thing too.
I'm open to ideas around that. I wouldn't know how to do that, but yeah, that would be cool.
You can form groups and everything.
I could see how it could like take away the fear of going bigger, because sometimes I feel like I'm blocking myself because I'm worried about how busy I am now.
Yeah.
Not even big with what I'm doing. And then I think about how am I going to ever manage it? So I think I almost have that subconscious like fear of like, so this, I could see this like giving you the tools to manage it and maybe take down some of that fear of going really big in the future.
Yeah,
I found that the fear doesn't go away, and like some days I'll be like, I don't want any more conversations.
I know.
No. Right, and that still happens with Teamzy. But the other thing that I have found is that it totally ups the game on customer contacts, because you're like, oh, so here's this customer and we're good. Like we're not renewing or, but I could just say, how's it going? And here's this cool video I found, or here is, and so it really builds that relationship, and it makes me feel so much more confident about, like, even with one customer, I was kind of like, oh, I should contact her but I don't really want to. But then it came up on Teamzy and I did, and it was great, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it totally got me out of a lot of blockage around, not out of all fear, because like I said, I've had to, like, last week I was kind of like, I don't want any more conversations. I got some stuff to do here.
Yeah.
But this week I feel ready to start again.
That's where you can kind of feel exhausted how many times you need to really be keeping a conversation going with so many people. Like sometimes I don't know how to keep up with that, but maybe this will at least help track it and organize it more. And that's one piece that's out of,
I think it's easy to overthink it and to spend too much of your day doing activity that actually isn't money making or that productive. I know that I was, that was me. So I feel like it just keeps me efficient. Did you want to add something?
I was going to say, it sounds like you guys have, hey, everybody.
Hi, Eric.
It sounds like you've already talked about the way Teamzy serves up one person after another to go talk to.
Yeah.
Because watching Noel over a couple of years, should perseverate over who do I call next? Oh, I'm not going to call this person. I'm not going to reach out for all these reasons. But having Teamzy just serve up one after another, it's like, she let it go to Teamzy saying, all right, well, if Teamzy says I should talk to this person.
Yeah.
So to your point, Jean, it's like it exactly lets you off the hook for doing any filtering whatsoever. Just reach out.
And also the encouragement that what we're doing is building relationships. It's not like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a long time and Juice Plus.
Right.
It's just like, how are you? How are the children? Oh my God, it's been years.
Yeah.
And it's totally broken some barriers for me.
I have had some of the most amazing conversations. Thank you, honey.
Thanks, Eric.
Amazing conversations and coffee dates lately with people that I barely know, but somehow they've come into my life and I haven't seen them in 10 or 20 years. And it's because of Teamzy. I mean, how many of you met Louise in Florida when we were in Tampa, my friend that was on the Sunset Cruise with me? That was because of Teamzy.
Yeah.
I had lunch with a guy that I used to teach, yoga with in Boston about a month ago. That was because of Teamzy. I haven't seen him in 10 years. I talked to a yoga student the other day that I haven't seen in 10 years that I barely knew then. And we've had this great conversation. I'm like, wow, this is such an amazing person that I wouldn't have gotten to know. First of all, it wasn't for this business, but if her name wasn't popping up on my radar, might not have reached out to her. I might not have thought to reach out to her.
Yeah,
So,
and it's in both Teamzy and, Get Over Your Damn Self, this idea that anyone you talk to is either an advocate, a customer, a potential team member. But when you talk to them that way, then you're not looking with those pleasing eyes, like, so are you going to do it? It's just like, because everybody could walk away from talking with me now and go, that's a cool thing she's doing. It's not for me, I don't think, but it's cool. I could definitely tell people about it. It feels so different. So different.
at the conference, somebody talked about how we are professional friends. That's really what we do in our business. And this Teamzy helps you become a professional friend, I feel like, it's
Tell
not.
me, remember that I used to be that when I was in high school. That's what I was, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fun. That could come back.
Yeah. And it's not overwhelming because you can manage it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I wanted to say something about what Erin had said about that fear of going big, because I remember before I became a national marketing director thinking, I don't know if I can be a national marketing director because all these people I'm going to be responsible for, and it's not like that. If we're keeping it simple, like we're supposed to keep it simple, by the time you get to be a national marketing director, you've got people that are, sales, like look at sales coordinators on this call tonight. That you're becoming independent. So that fear, you're going to grow into that, Erin, but it's something that you'll realize that it's an unfounded fear. You don't have to worry about that going big. So, and I just want to say something about people falling through the cracks. One of the people that I reached out to, I was like, I couldn't even remember who she was. And then I realized she owned a business over in Salisbury, and we had this great conversation about health. And I'm like, oh, I'll reach out to her because I knew she was going to retire from that business. And now she's interested, and I've sent her some videos. So it works. It really works.
Yeah. So I don't want to keep you guys because it's time for the other call. But I will post that video I referred to on the Team Rock thread and in the Team Rock Facebook page in case you haven't had a chance to see it and you can't find it. And I will give you the phone number for tonight's call, which is about adrenal fatigue, which I think is a really important topic. 641-715-3580. And the code is 505064#.
And I have 2 people getting on that call tonight because of Teamzy.
All right. Good job, Janine.
I know, right?
Awesome. I just signed up, Noel.
Yay! Good for
Do we
you.
get any money for selling Teamzy? No.
I just signed back up, Noel. You just inspired me to get back on there because I was listening to you talk about it. I'm like, oh yeah, it really